Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Salotto Italiano. Tonight at Casa Italiana di Las Vegas, we have Martina Zandonella of Martina Zando Photography with us. Thank you for coming.
Thanks to you for having me here.
So Martina, coming from Italy, right? How long have you been in Las Vegas?
I've been here 4 years now, and before I was in the UK, living and studying there.
What brings you to Vegas?
Love, mostly.
Love, okay.
Yeah.
As normally is the case.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so today you're here talking about your art, photography. You're a successful photographer, but also to share with us and with you your Italian heritage. Because you are the granddaughter of two famous Italian artists, right? Carlo and Mirella Sbisà.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. So Carlo and Mirella were famous Italian photographers from my city, Trieste. And Carlo was mostly known for his figurative art and for drawing and big paintings and affresco. And Mirella for the sculptures and the painting, but also for the ceramics that they produce together.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So do you have some samples of ceramics at home or no ceramics?
Well, ceramics are a little bit to bring over here, but they are beautiful. And,
what do we have here?
But instead we have the etchings.
Etchings, perfect.
Yes. So
okay.
These are from my grandmother. So Vischio, like good luck for Christmas time. And my grandmother really loved to represent the land around her and beautiful scenes from surroundings of Trieste and from the mountains.
Is this this is from your area?
Yes, this is the area around Trieste in Carso.
Carso, okay, that's beautiful.
And the etching is a really old technique of etching into a metal and then printing. So she was really specialized in this. She carried on with the school for teaching that was named after my grandfather, and she's been teaching for years and years. And my mother as well.
Oh, okay.
My mother took it to the mountains, so represented us. So. I'm there in a stick figure.
This is you. Okay,
yes.
So it's you and your mother, or it's just
probably it's me and my mother. Yeah,
excellent.
Away. Yes,
you were an inspiration.
Yes,
perfectly.
The adventures together. Yes.
So, if you don't mind sharing with us the influences that you have from your grandparents and how has shaped your work into your photography.
Yeah. So. Definitely having this heritage at home had a big influence on me because I grew up always seeing these beautiful figures, a lot of human shapes and figures. So I've always admired that. But I also seen them working with all this natural environment and the land and everything that is beautiful in nature. So I've learned from a young age really to see everything that is beautiful around us and trying to portray that in whichever medium you want in art, and photography has become my medium to show that.
Perfect. You mentioned the landscapes, and you also mentioned the human body. Now, was your grandfather more into the human body, and your grandmother in the landscape, or the opposite?
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. So he went to school in Florence for art. So from in his teenage years, he was really practicing a lot the human body and the human shape, and he had a very classical style, which I really admire.
Excellent.
And it represented women as I see them, as we are like normal women with our curves and our shapes, and I love to see and show that in every woman as well. Whereas my grandmother loved the nature and the environment around us, so she specialized more in that.
Now, do you recall a particular memory of your childhood with your grandparents, your granddad or your grandma?
Yeah, so one of the things that my grandmother loved to do was to go and pick flowers. 'Cause it's such a simple joy of life.
Yes, that's
and
beautiful.
yeah, and going to a beautiful place around our town and picking flowers in the woods and then coming back home and draw them. So instead of just taking the picture, put them in a little vase, and she would do something similar to this, but get us involved as well. And
so you pick flowers with her?
Yes, and picking flowers, see whatever is beautiful, make a composition, and then try to draw them or paint them at home.
In terms of details, I know that photography obviously involves a lot of details, and I saw some of the pictures that you did on your website, and by the way, beautiful pictures. As far as the details, is that something that you learn from them, and particularly from who you picked the detail in the art?
I think from my grandfather. He was very detail oriented as well, and I love that in his work, because in such big art pieces that he created, he would find and study the little details. So for example, the hands is something I always admired, and I always pay a lot of attention seeing his work to pose and change the shapes of the hands for my model to give more elegance to the images.
Very good. You mentioned your mom as well. So your mom, obviously, she has influenced you as well. Now, she was more of a landscaper or human body?
She is definitely a landscaper, so she specializes in mountains. She decided to go for the medical profession because she saw the struggles of being an artist and being, trying to make it.
I can imagine, yes.
Yeah, so she's been working as a doctor all her life, but she's always enjoyed art in landscape. So she really specializes in mountains, but also in jewelry. So I'm wearing jewelry.
That's nice.
And the logo was made. So this is the same as my logo, and the logo was also made by her when I was born.
Oh wow! So that's beautiful, by the way. Very very nice earrings. So she carries on making jewelry.
Yes, she really enjoys that. For as well, very little details. We hope to create something together.
Very nice. Now, talking instead about you and your photography. You obviously photograph more women or men, or do you have requests in both?
I have both, but I would say in general, for women, I really love to photograph the shape of a human body because I find it beautiful, and I find that women are really hard on themselves. So I really help them to see themselves beautifully in a different light and to help to increase their confidence with the images I create.
That's a very nice thing you do.
Thanks.
We're always very critical of ourselves.
Too much.
Yes.
Whereas as an artist does, it creates a slightly softer image and is more likely what your significant other sees in you rather than how you see yourself.
You see, yes.
Which is always too detailed.
That's true.
For men instead, I find the portraits are really interesting because generally male shapes tell more of a story. The shapes of the face and expression.
That is very interesting.
Yeah.
Now, did you get any particular request or any strange request? And if so, can you name one?
No.
No.
We are in Vegas, so I could tell you after, but no.
I'm sure there are some peculiar ones. So, Martina, you're in Vegas now. If your grandparents were still alive, what do you think they will say about Vegas and about you being here? Would they like Vegas as a city?
Well, I wouldn't take just Vegas, but I would take all the land around it.
Okay.
So I know they would love the desert. For sure, both my grandfather and my grandmother really loved nature and adventures around. So they would love going around the desert where I do lots of photo shoot and I always try to incorporate that in my shots as well, because I find it unique and something definitely we don't have in Italy.
Definitely not. Mm-hmm.
And as far as the city goes, I think they would find details of beauty inside the city. If you go around Vegas and you look around the casinos, you will find that actually they have a lot of art.
They do, actually, yes, they do.
So if you go inside the Bellagio and look at the ceiling, it's got all this beautiful blown glasswork, and the same on the Venetian,
yes,
with the beautiful fresco. So I think they would really notice all these things
and appreciate them.
Yes, absolutely.
Fantastic. Now, one last question, and that's nothing to do with your Italian heritage in terms of artistic heritage, but something about yourself. If you had to describe yourself with something that is Italian, it could be a food item, it could be a car brand or region, what would you identify with?
Mm-hmm. So I would identify myself with the region of Toscana, because I think that it has everything that, or a great sample of what Italy has to offer in terms of food, in terms of landscape, culture, and art.
Yes.
And with all of that package, I feel you can really show off the best of Italy.
Great. That's a perfect example. Yes.
Yeah.
So one last thing, tonight, we just want to present you with a certificate, un certificato di riconoscimento to recognize you as for your effort in promoting Italian culture here in Las Vegas, in our community. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
It's been an honor to have you here at Salotto Italiano. And thank you all for listening to us. And please follow us on our YouTube channel, Salotto Italiano. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.